Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the last session of the Elets Digital Pharma Summit. I am Garima Pant, Assistant Editor, eHealth Magazine. And we have a very interesting panel here. We were here to discuss on the topic, is pharma education future ready? The opportunities and challenges. Present amongst us, we have Dr. Avinash R. Kakre, Vice President and Head Pharmacovigilance, CIPLA. Welcome, sir. Then we have Dr. Praful Bharadia, Professor, Department of Pharmaceutics, LM College of Pharmacy. Welcome, sir. Dr. S. Sriram, Associate Secretary, Education Division and Professor and Head, Department of Pharmacy Practice, College of Pharmacy, SRI PMS Coimbatore, Indian Pharmaceutical Association. Welcome, sir. Dr. Mahesh Dattaraya Burande, Director, Indian Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Pune. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Professor D.Y.
Same.
Half of your designation. I'm really sorry. Professor D.Y. Patil, University School of Pharmacy. And he is the moderator of this session. So welcome again, sir.
Yeah.
Professor Krishna Priya Mohan Raj, Professor of Pharmaceutical Analysis, Bombay College of Pharmacy. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
And Dr. K.N. Gujar, Professor and Director, Singard College of Pharmacy. Welcome, sir. Over to you, sir, for taking this discussion forward.
Thanks, Garima, for a very brief introduction and a right start at 3:45 p.m. I'm extremely happy to actually tell all my dignitaries, especially the experienced people in the pharmacy profession contributing for the education. Let me tell you, the challenging situation of COVID-19 still alarming us at certain places, but you know, the show must go on. And on that line, the pharmacy education system in India is working out, whether it is offline mode or whether it is online mode. We are contributing to make the competent and complete pharmacists, whatever may be the possibility from our side, whatever the resources we have, we are putting it into the practice. As Garima has said, the panel has already joined. So I request the first person, Dr. S. Sriram, who is a great pharmacologist working in the pharmacy practice department at Coimbatore of SRI actually University. So I request him to speak for 8 minutes. I am requesting all the panelists to speak for 8 minutes, their views regarding the challenging situation in pharmacy education, especially in COVID-19, and what we should do, what can be the methodology, so that again, actually contributing to the pharmaceutical industry by developing the competent pharmacists may be the possibility. Dr. Sriram, you can take the dais.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the nice introduction and for welcome. And very good evening to one and all. It's my proud privilege to be here among the very learned persons and the elect crowd here. And in this evening, I take this opportunity to thank the organizers, first of all, to be in this platform. And as all of us know, this education is a continuous learning process. Everyone knows this. And the success of any education depends on the outcome. See, ultimately, what is required or what is expected from the employer, that has to be fulfilled by the education. When that is fulfilled, if you can fulfill the employer's expectation, then you are successful. See, in a classroom, student is educated by the teacher, and everyone receives the same education. The knowledge is transmitted to everyone, but at the same time, if it is not transformed to skill, that is where the problem occurs. Knowledge anybody can gain. If a student does not come to the college on the day, and if he knows what particular topic is discussed, very well he can go home, you can just take the books, or he can Google it, or he can go for a lot of, nowadays it is global village. You get a lot of opportunities to get the information or the knowledge. But skill is the one which has to be given by the teachers. They have to have the skill-oriented and outcome-based experiential learning. This is what is must nowadays. Knowledge anybody can get. But if you cannot make the student a skilled personalities to meet the competencies required whenever you go outside. When a student goes outside, it is necessary for him to be competent. The employer always requires a competent guy. Always he expects a lot what is expected. If he can transform the knowledge to skill, then he will be successful. In our pharmacy profession, I'll proudly say that pharmacy profession is the only one profession where you get lots of opportunities for the students. He has got lots and lots of opportunities. Suppose if he can spend only 2 years, they can study diploma, right? 4 years B Pharm is there, 6 years PharmD program, then PG programs are there. So many debates I have heard that we have to abolish this diploma in pharmacy, and we have to bring them to B Pharm, or you have to have them with 4 years minimum degree qualification. The 2 years program is not at all sufficient and all. See, if you see here, the pharmacists in India, most of them, most of the registered pharmacists are working in community now. And this community pharmacists or the barefoot doctors, they are in the front line. They are the frontline workers. Especially in the COVID situation, you would have seen them working 24 hours, and the pharmacists are the only group of people who are there full time during this COVID situation. And this particular platform, I would like to say that the diploma in pharmacy, I would like to appreciate the efforts taken by the Pharmacy Council of India to release this ER Education Regulation 20. Right. So this Education Regulation 20 has come out with a lot of changes when compared to ER 19. They have included this practice-based learning. A lot of components are included in the practice-based learning. So in this particular group of people who are coming out, the first batch did not come out. Anyhow, from 21 onwards only, from this year onwards only, that particular syllabus, that is ER 20 regulation syllabus, is being followed. And in that syllabus itself, they have included practice components. So more emphasis is given for practicals than the theory, because one theory is reduced and one practical is added. Nearly around 275 hours, practice hours are there, and 500 hours of training is also there. So good things are happening. Let us hope that these next people who are coming with D Pharm qualification will have lots and lots of pharmaceutical care activities which are trained in the college itself. Say, for example, patient counseling, right? They have got a lot of areas like entrepreneurship programs, how to monitor the pharmacy, how to have the relationship with the legal and the ethical issues, how to handle all those things are being covered in the new syllabus in ER Education Regulation 20. So I'm really happy about it, that this particular education regulation is already passed in Gazette of India, so that we can authoritatively say that these are the works of the community pharmacist. And we have included, the Pharmacy Council of India have included a lot of areas like critical thinking, interpretational skills, communication skills, etc. And the best part of it is the competencies are mapped with the individual subjects in the curriculum. Suppose if you study this particular subject, what competency they will develop and which year they are studying this. So it's all mapped, and a beautiful one-page tabular column is given in the ER regulations, Education Regulation 20. And even the it is all designed to nurture the students in all the 3 domains of Bloom's taxonomy, that is knowledge, skill, and attitude. All the 3 domains are taken care of well. Coming to this B Pharm, it's a 4-year course, all of us know that. And this particular system of semester is introduced by the Pharmacy Council of India. The semester system of studying this B Pharmacy course. One good part of it is the practice school concepts. In the 7th semester of B Pharm, they have introduced the practice school concepts. So this practice school concept is what? See, even though this is the first batch of students who are coming out with the practice school concept, it is always important to integrate and study. So this practice school concept helps the student to integrate what he has learned. What he has learned in, say, for example, in pharmaceutics, right? How to analyze it in pharmaceutical analysis, and how to estimate it or how to evaluate it in pharmacology. All such type of small projects are taken, group projects are taken, and they are discussing in practice school. So this is one good thing is happening, and the semester system has come. And the projects, whatever they are taking, it can be very, very helpful. And I'm sure the industry people have to make use of this manpower, because the small projects can be given for this industry. Small projects can be given to these people, and the innovations in the bench to bedside can be very well taken care of. Coming to this PharmD education, when the PharmD course was introduced in 2008, I think everybody knows the story of it. In 2000, from 2003 onwards, the United States said that the minimum registrable qualification there in US is PharmD. That means minimum 5 years of study they should have done. So that time we did not have this PharmD in 2003. And of course, we took around 5 years to frame everything and bring it to practice. In 2008 only, we could start this PharmD course in India. And in the PharmD course, the first batch of students have come out in 2014. And if you see, they are said to be the new generation pharmacists. Why we call them as new generation pharmacists? Because in hospitals and clinics, these pharmacists have created a lot of impact in healthcare. They could practice pharmaceutical care in a very, very positive way. And especially the places where they have got their own hospitals. And in our case, we have got the place where I am working. Already the M.Pharm pharmacy practice was running for a long time. So it was easy for us. Our own hospital is there, 1,000-bedded hospital. So it was easy for us. And as per PCI, the MOU has to be signed with minimum of 300-bedded hospitals, and so that the minimum 30 students can be getting the patient load. So a lot of good things are happening with this, and these people are again trained in the experiential learning is going on. And if you see the job opportunities for them, a lot of CROs, the clinical research organizations are taking them, either in pharmacovigilance or as drug safety associate, or even in hospitals as clinical pharmacist. So a lot of opportunities, even medical coding, they have been utilized. And these people are mainly involved in quality use of medicine. So I'm seeing in my hospital itself here, which is an NABH accredited hospital, where around 8 clinical pharmacists are working. So they are involving themselves in antibiotic stewardship program, making the antibiotic policy for the hospital, taking care of the formulary. Then a lot of pharmaceutical care models like adverse drug reaction monitoring. They in coordination with the AMC, ADR Monitoring Center. And they also go for dosage adjustment, cost minimization, medication therapy management, counseling. A lot of areas are there where they can be trained, and they can be given the proper training. The disadvantage, I will say, throughout the country, wherever the PharmD programs are being run, whether the students are getting the same training, that is what is the question. That is a $1 million question now, because everybody gets the degree, but whether they are skilled, whether the competency levels are up, we need to question. And the manpower, whatever the students, if they are skilled, they can be very well utilized by the hospital people. Especially during the NABH accreditation process and all of us know that there are 13 MOMs are there. This MOM, especially MOM 3, Management of Medication 3, there it is very well explained about the clinical pharmacist's role, what are the roles they can play, and very well, if they can follow that, the hospital is gained with a lot of, what do you say, this healthcare, the patient healthcare can be improved. At the same time, the hospital gain because of the clinical pharmacist.
Thanks, Dr. Sriram. We will wait now here because everybody will get the time, and then we'll discuss it further. Thanks, Dr. Sriram. And Sriram emphasized that the skill always wins. And ultimate objective of all this program is to develop the skill so that immediately we can titrate that performance wherever the students are joining in hospital, or maybe community pharmacy, or maybe to the healthcare sector. So that is the objective what Dr. Sriram has explained. And right point which he has actually told is whether everybody is getting such type of training or not. And because of the online education, this is the challenge at present, whether a proper training everybody is receiving before taking the degree. So that is going to be a debatable question. I pass on now to Professor Krishna Priya Mohanraj, and she is a professor of pharmaceutical analysis at a leading college, Bombay College of Pharmacy. And you know the importance of analysis in a subject, even in the pharmaceutical industry. Analytical method development is the very important actually area where a lot of students are required, and she's contributing on that area. So I request Krishna Priya to actually express her feelings regarding this challenge and how she is cope up with this challenge and developing the skill in that case. Krishna Priya.
Thank you, sir. I would like to express here that when we talk about education, as Sriram sir rightly mentioned, that it should be a continuous education program and that knowledge should lead to skill. And whether it is any branch, definitely skill is very, very important. What I have come to know when in this, 25 years of my teaching is that we have to make the students love the subject. Okay. To tell the truth, I hated analysis when I was a student. I loved chemistry. And I still say that my first love is chemistry. But when I became a teacher, then I decided you learn from your good teachers and how to teach. And you learn from your bad teachers how not to teach. Okay. So it was very important that I create interest in the students for that subject. Okay. So we will find that in the pharmacy education, it is basically jack of all trades, you say, and master of none. No, we are master of all. You should know everything in pharmacy. Like when medicine, you will learn a certain set. In engineering, you learn a certain set of knowledge is there. But pharmacy is something where you will learn medicine, you will learn engineering, you will learn analysis. You will. I still remember when I looked at the prospectus first. But I didn't even know that there was pharmacy course. And when when I was interested in chemistry, okay, pharmaceutical chemistry, some biochemistry, organic chemistry, many chemistries are there. And what other subjects we don't know. I still had my, my cousin asked me, you're doing bee farm, is it got to do something with agriculture? Okay. So the knowledge at that time when I did my bee farm about pharmacy was less. But now the knowledge about pharmacy is so much more. And we need an all-round personality. The person should know. I cannot say, like how in engineering, you specialize in one branch. So, that knowledge you have great and the others limited. But it's like in pharmacy, we have to remember that we are, if you look at T, the letter T, okay? So you have one vertical line and you have one horizontal line. So in pharmacy, what you need is that horizontal line. We don't focus on one thing. You have to have, an idea about everything. Because if I am to do analysis, I should know some basics of chemistry. Even in pharmaceutics, when I am doing, I need to know, okay, how drug absorption takes place. I need ionized, unionized. So chemistry plays a role. So that is why there are so many subjects in pharmacy and a skill set in each one becomes important. I would like to mention here that I still feel that there is a lot of gap between what the industry wants and what we provide as education to our students in the pharmacy colleges. So, of course, now with this uniform PCI syllabus coming, but I would definitely say that we being an autonomous institute and having worked even at deemed universities, I would say, the capability or the thing that we can offer to the students becomes much more when, as an academic institute, you have the full freedom to make your syllabus in consultation with the industry. Give a small example. It is 2007. I'm at NMIMS and we have just, 1 year over and we're having the board of studies. And I was there for even pharmaceutical analysis there. So heading chemistry department, analysis came there. And I remember Saranjit Singh sir and Radhakrishnan sir from Searle, who was, in the panel. And I remember Radhakrishnan sir tell me in the MPharm syllabus, you should include ICP-MS. And in 2007, I asked him, sir, what is ICP-MS? Because I'd not even heard of it. Okay, so it is, and now at Bombay College of Pharmacy, we have a ICP-MS under the National Facility of Research and Training, but we still do not teach it in undergraduate or in the PCI syllabus of postgraduate, something so very important with the regulatory requirements. So I would specifically tell that it is very, very important that in the committees for framing the syllabus, we should have industry experts so that we know we can make syllabus such that it will be useful for the students. As Sriram sir said, it's what the employer needs we have to provide. So unless we are going to have that strong interaction, it's not only in hospitals that students go, that there will be industry also. There will be, even as required, even in something like health insurance and life insurance, you have pharmacy students being employed to know about what is the risk and all claims to be done. So we definitely need, as I said, looking into the national education policy, give more emphasis on universal, all-round thing. I'll say even in master's level, okay, I'm doing in pharmaceutics, I want to do something in pharmacology, I should be allowed to do. Okay, let's not restrict ourselves into compartments and zones and say that you should work only in this particular area. Everything is becoming interdisciplinary. So let's work on that. And I would also like to mention that the importance of conceptual learning and problem-based learning. It's only when we make our students think and make them enjoy doing whatever things they are doing. So I'll give a small example of how we can do a conceptual learning in something like analysis. We teach them chromatography, and I've done this exercise, which, what is it? With the students, like whatever is your name, okay, you start, your name is Elets, then you go to L, see the pharmacopoeia, look at all chromatographic techniques where it is used, all the drugs which is present over there, and come discuss in class in groups, okay? And I have found the children enjoyed it so much. Now I'm not doing it in online classes, but they then feel, okay, whatever we are learning, it's of some use. So there's a question, what are the skilling challenges for educators in the virtual teaching environment? Definitely, 100%, there are a lot of challenges. And I must say that because of online teaching, we have become much more tech savvy, because you have to learn to deliver to students whose faces you cannot see, and to make it so interesting that they understand concepts. So one of the things that I follow in class is, because I take pharmaceutical analysis and there's a lot of things which you have to solve, like you have to do structural elucidation, you have to solve problems. So we make a WhatsApp group, and I ask students to put in their assignments, correct, discuss. So we have learned many things, as there are challenges for educators.
Thanks,
and that will, thank you, sir. Thank you.
We'll give you time again. And what you said is right, that we should have the flexibility to add as per the requirement from the pharmacy industry in our syllabus. And the right point which you have quoted is that at undergraduate level, actually, we should expose the student, because most of the undergraduates are going to the pharmaceutical industries, while most of the postgraduates are going for R&D, not to the manufacturing or quality control or quality assurance. And that's why actually having that flexibility will add the value in skilling the student. And yes, we'll come back how online will be helpful in developing the skills. That will be the later part which we'll discuss. But now I am giving the platform to one of the great professor in pharmaceutics, Dr. Praful Bharadia from LM College of Pharmacy. He's handling the innovation cell of LM College of Pharmacy. You know, LM College of Pharmacy has provided many stalwarts in the pharmacy profession, right? And that actually legacy, Dr. Praful Bharadia is actually taken the responsibility at his department, and he wanted to actually elaborate on innovation and how this skilling will be useful for the pharmaceutical actually industries as well as the students. Dr. Praful, it's your platform again. You have to unmute, Praful. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Purande. Good evening to one and all. Dr. Shriram set the tone of the panel by giving a very nice picture of how things are moving in various facets of the pharmacy education. And Dr. Krishnapriya also elaborated on how integrated teaching would be really successful in grooming the students. I'll zoom out a bit and I'll go to a national picture. We have been witnessing a big change since last 2 years. So there are certain national challenges which are being faced by a country. It may be a set of diseases which a particular country may face, like a country like ours, which we understand better than any other people across the globe. Our health system and our education system should be geared up to meet the challenges of our country. We have different diseases, and therefore, when we are designing the curriculum and when we are educating the students, they have to be sensitized to what we have around us, what we face, and how do we solve those questions and problems, or how do we tackle the challenges which we face. Therefore, having a curriculum in place is good, but then it has to be dynamic enough to attend these issues which we face from time to time in our country. That's one of the challenges when universities and higher level bodies are framing syllabi, because it becomes static for a long time, and then maybe after a decade we change the syllabus and we come out with something new. But at the same time, if we can create an ecosystem where the students are sensitized as soon as they come in the college, right? Maybe from schools and then into colleges, then they get involved into how to deal with those issues. That interest is created in them, and then they would come up with some solutions. It generates two things. One thing is that they get interest in learning because they have a problem on hand and they want to find a solution. The problem may be related with any science. It may be pharmaceutics, it may be pharmacology, it may be formulation, it may be a diagnostic kit. So many things are there which are coming up. So it drives them to learn. And when a student himself is driven to learn something, the output is wonderful. So that is one thing which also becomes important. If we see when the student is going out of an institute, as Dr. Shriram rightly pointed out, that the expectations of the industry are there. There are a lot of employability concerns being raised, because when we at the institutions get requests from the industry, they say we want good candidates. Now, when that word good comes, it becomes difficult for us, because the knowledge level is not commensurate to the needs of the industry. We all know that there's a big technical gap. The equipments which the industry works with may not be available in the institutions, specifically in the manufacturing side. The clean areas in which they are manufacturing medicines may not be available in the institutions. So these technical gaps are evident, and we may not be finding out ways out so soon unless very few institutions who have a lot of financial background may be able to do it. So how to attend those gaps is a question which needs to be attended. At the same time, we have new medicines coming up. Like say, if we see the top 10 selling drugs across the globe, 7 out of 10 would be biologics, proteins and peptides. How many of our institutions are ready to work with biologics? Very few. Capabilities are not there. How many faculty members are capable enough to work with formulations and testing of peptides and proteins? Very few. Therefore, as we proceed with time, we need to look at both the things. On one side, the technical challenges, and at the same time, the training of the faculty members to commensurate with those requirements so that they can deliver the best to the students who are coming to them. So these are things which are of concern at any moment of time. Even if this was the concern 30 years back also when I graduated out, and the same concern is there even today when the graduate is coming out. Because when I graduated out 30 years back and I went to say Cadilla for a job, it was totally different than what I had learned. Same thing students face today also. When a student goes to the industry, if a pharma graduate, B.Pharm guy goes in, he is not so confident about validation and about current good manufacturing practices, which from day one, which he has to follow in the manufacturing shop floor. And if you see the syllabus, it may be given a few hours, which is not adequate. So if you talk of warning letters, 483, which we call, how many graduates are knowing about that? And that's what they face over there. How to solve them, how to attend, how to create solutions for that problems. Therefore, a lot needs to be done on this front. Any syllabus would be there, but then as time changes, we need to adapt to the requirements of the industry and train our graduates to that extent so that they're able to perform over there when they go. Then the industry is happy with the institutions, otherwise not. So these feedback comes in regularly from the industries because, as you know, Gujarat is the hub of pharma manufacturing, and we keep getting feedback from the industries also that, sir, thoda ye include karo na syllabus mein, because they want students to know that when they come. So these friends keep coming with these requests that, sir, please train the students for this particular things because they are not up to date in that particular area. So we need to look into those challenges which are there. So that's one part of the expectation of the industry and the challenges which are there, and we need to look into that. Second thing is we have a lot of automation coming in, and as automation comes in, because we want to reduce errors in manufacturing, errors in testing. So a lot of automation is coming in at all places. We also gearing towards Pharma 4.0, where we have computer-based manufacturing coming in, where from batch processing we are going to continuous manufacturing. It needs a lot of technical inputs. So the institutions also need to gear up to face and adapt to these changes. We all know about the implementation of NIR technology for these purposes, and we expect that the institutions also would be slowly gearing up to expose their students with projects on such topics and take it up so that the industry also has people trained on that upcoming technology, which is futuristic, which is going to come in the next decade. So that's also what we are looking at, right? And going further, as I was talking about a large picture, we saw that during the pandemic also, a lot of short supply was there for certain medicines, but as it has been said rightly that the pharma industry has performed excellent. They did not stop even one day. They all were working day and night so that the country was not facing a shortage of medicines. So there we have the manufacturing, distribution, and then the mapping which is going to take place. So we saw that there were certain import restrictions, materials coming from China, which we have faced problems because everything was stopped at that time. So at the national level also, there are certain policies which have come in. If we go to see whether it's Make in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, which we are seeing, so that import substitution can be done. And we can also have our people, our students being trained to become entrepreneurs and start contributing. So from job seekers, we want them to become job providers. So that's a major focus towards which even the central government is moving these days. And it's a very, very welcome step. A good ecosystem has to be built in the institutions where the students are being exposed to innovation and entrepreneurship, because we know that we are a country of innovations. Unless we do that, we may not be able to solve our ground level problems. So there are certain policies which are being very well implemented, and if the students and the institutions really take part in this, it's going to be really wonderful. If you go to see, then that AICT also has a nice policy called, it's called as the IICs, which have been set up across the country. That's Institute Innovation Councils. Across the country, all colleges are gearing up to develop that innovation ecosystem in the students. Along with that, we also have a student startup and innovation policy, which is a state policy, where we give a grant of about 2 lakh rupees to students for any idea which they're coming up with. Up to 2 lakh rupees it is granted. If it is if it's a good technology which is patentable, we have a funding of about 1 lakh rupees which is being given for patenting also. So these are various wonderful initiatives where, along with studies, a student can involve in some innovative work. He can take it up, and if something output is good, then he can patent it and it can be put to good use to society. So
thanks, Praful.
Yeah, these are wonderful initiatives which we can take forward.
Yeah, thanks, Praful, for a wonderful actually contribution which you are making from LM College of Pharmacy, and especially Dr. Praful suggested that developing the skill what industry is required by exposing the student, especially he talked about the 483, the compliance for the US FDA. And, basically all these things are not there in the colleges because the students are not exposed, because the teachers are not exposed on that line.
True.
And that's why actually the suggestion is coming that why not our teachers should also go during vacation to the industry and do that. And let me tell you, Pharmacy Council of India has taken the initiative, and they have sponsored almost 50 to 100 teachers this year to go to the industry and learn in their subject and become some experts so that they can come back and contribute to the students. So efforts are going on. Only thing is that because of the COVID, as the online education is there, how much skills which we can develop, because experience is the best actually best thing in the life to make you expert. But if they don't have the actual experience, the virtual experience, they have to actually imagine and start working on that. But there are, although there are the limitations, but some skills definitely can be developed. For example, detailing skill. You can demonstrate through online that how you can do the detailing of the product, those who are interested in the sales and marketing. And similarly, you can ask the student to do that and check their videos and actually guide them. So skills can be developed. And as you know, the Eklavya has developed the skill by making the statue of Dronacharya. So like that, through the online also, we can develop certain skills, but not up to the 100%. Analytical method development, Krishna Priya can actually show you the demonstration there. But actually the thinking process and doing that analysis is a different part. And again, coming to the pharmacovigilance or maybe the patient counseling, that can be up to certain level which we can demonstrate. But yes, one thing is there because of the online. Let me tell you, Vikram Bist is actually putting so many questions to us that we can utilize the best expert in the world for the students now. That is the advantage with the online education. I can take Krishna Priya, I can take actually Dr. Bharadia or Dr. Sriram for my student. I can invite them through the online, and the students will be exposed to the real actually stalwarts of the pharmacy profession. That is the advantage actually we have through the online. I think 75 skills which we identified through our Institute of IPR, that these are the basic skills. And if you generate that basic skill, our idea is, can college, see, universities gives the degree, but can any college stamp certain skills for certain students, those who wanted to go to the industry for a different department? And if that certificate is provided, I think by the institute, the industries will welcome such type of certificate because he will be a stamp person for that skill. And I think that should be our approach. And for that, I think even we have to involve the industry people in our teaching. That is also important. We have many times total academic player in the actually the colleges. But why not 30% actually teachers should come from the industry by paying them handsomely as industries also pays them. And I think that will be the combination. And then those who are the total academician, we can send them, we can give them the opportunity. What PC has done, why not colleges also actually sponsor the teachers in that case, if he is interested, right? And he can go to the industry and actually come up with development of all these skills to the students. So that is the objective of whether it is online education or whether it is offline education. Now, I wanted to ask the question to Dr. Sriram, that which are the skills which you are developing at your college when we are talking about the pharmacy practice or pharmacovigilance or maybe medical coding?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
When you say skills, it is practice oriented. As I was telling you before, it is practice oriented. So suppose you take pharmacovigilance. Whenever you wanted to develop a skill on pharmacovigilance, how to monitor the adverse drug reaction or adverse drug event in a hospital setup, we run an ADR monitoring center. Our hospital is a AMC, ADR monitoring center, where whatever is required for monitoring of adverse drug reaction, say for example, the form, which is the latest form, that is 1.3 version of the ADR form, which is again, the students are trained in that form, how to fill up those forms, how to do the causality assessment through Naranjo scale or WHO scale, how to go and approach the patients when they have got any adverse drug reactions. Is the adverse drug reaction only the skin related, or it is even a small giddiness is treated as adverse drug reaction? What is the difference between side effects and adverse drug reactions? So all these things were taught to them, and they were asked to do on a simulated case. We'll be giving a simulated case with the Naranjo scale, and they'll have to read the case, and we'll discuss on how this particular causality assessment is done. So there are a lot of scales, as you know very well. The preventability scale is there, predictability scale is there. So all these are exposed, they are exposed to that. And not only on pharmacovigilance, as I said, apart from this, materiovigilance is there, which is again a new one, which is very difficult to collect the information from the hospital. Hemovigilance, vaccine vigilance, a lot of areas where they can be trained. Apart from this, the main area is dose adjustment. Because as we have seen in the hospital, the doctors doesn't have much time to calculate the dose and all. They are waiting for the people to calculate and tell them. They say, for example, the creatinine clearance of a person is very high, right? So immediately that particular renal impairment patient have to have some dose adjustment. He has to rely on some person, right, to go and check and find out how this Cockroach-Gault equation can be employed so that they can manage the dose. Not only in renal failure patients, in hepatic failure patients. And not only that, there are certain drugs which are being used. They've got different FDA indications. Say we had a case of using letrozole, and the doctor said that it is around I think 2-3 years before. Letrozole is the drug which is to induce ovulation. It was approved. Again, there was a problem, and it was taken back. It was banned to improve the ovulation. And but of course, the drug is used as anti-cancer drug for breast cancer. The drug is there in the market, but in between, the drug got banned, and again it is being used for the same indication. So all those knowledge levels, because they don't study all these things in books, they have to learn through the teachers. And for that, the teacher has to be updated. The teacher need to be updated to teach the students all these things.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sriram.
Thank you.
Dr. Krishna Priya, what is your opinion in developing the skill through the online? Can something can be developed as far as your area is considered on that way?
What can be done is, we find that in analysis, especially when you do instrumental analysis, there's a lot of calculations involved, especially with respect to dilutions and things. So those are explained, but how to handle the instrument. Okay, we can show a demonstration, but the person individually handling the instrument, that becomes difficult when we talk about instrumental analysis. Or you have to do a titration and get an endpoint. Okay, how much ever you see a video, it doesn't give you the skill unless you do it yourself and you're trained that to stop at a drop. So I must say that I feel very sorry for the batches which are coming out in the COVID situation, especially with respect to practical learning. So now, even for though Mumbai, the trains, they're not allowing our students to travel, we are planning that when things improve, that at least finally a few practicals at least, they will come and they will do, and then we send them out.
Yeah, thanks,
So,
thanks, Roshna Priya. I think you are emphasizing that actual working on the instrument, which will make them real expert in that case. And definitely there are some areas which we cannot replace by online, but at least certain concepts which we can explain to them, certain
yes.
purpose we can explain to them, certain SOPs which we can explain them, what we are
Yes.
doing with the industry training and other thing. And
Yes.
so that then later when they get the exposure, they should actually think of that what I have learned through the online, I have to practice it here.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I think that is the way to come out with the solution. Dr. Praful, what is your opinion through this online? Anything is more challenging or something which still we can develop?
I would say seeing is believing
Yes.
anytime. That's
Yeah.
very true. We cannot replace it.
Yeah, right.
So, but in these times when we are not able to personally interact, online obviously is what we are looking at. So, as far as pharmaceutical technology is concerned, we use a lot of videos, of equipments. We use videos of procedures which are to be used, SOPs to be followed. All these are very wonderfully available. We have presentations by WHO which are available. We use those for training the students. These are commonly available across, freely available resources. So these are wonderful resources which we can use to train the students online also. And it really would substitute the laboratory exposure to a certain extent. I'm not saying 100%, because even at our incubation center, we have a startup which is working on making mannequins which can replace animal experimentation. So a lot of work is being done on substitution and developing new technologies also for educational purposes. So challenges are there obviously, but as we go online, we find out ways to adequately address those challenges by using case-based studies, as has been said, that we have group discussions, we have problem-solving procedures, we use online resources, and that is how we try to educate the students in an online mode.
Yeah. Thanks, Dr. Praful. I think challenge is there, but at least now the students came to know how to organize the online meeting, which will be their part once they become the manager in the pharmaceutical industry.
Yes.
Even every teacher knows now how to organize his lecture, how he can make it more effective. Even the skills are developed through the online. So there is an advantage of the online. And I think in the future, whatever the syllabus which we conduct, if we make a component 30% online, we should take the help, and 70% should be the practical. I think a lot of skills will be developed on that line. A lot of resources which we can utilize, the best resources in the world for developing the competent actually student, to make them really competent and capable to contribute to the pharmaceutical industry. And I think this online mode, when we talk, I think a lot of advantages are there, disadvantages are also there. See, anything, if you do continuously the same thing, people will get bored, right? It's not only through the online, even offline also. Many times when full-time offline is available, many students are outside. It depends again the teacher to create the interest, as Dr. Krishna Priya said, that love your actually a job, love that you are a teacher, you are making the future generation pharmacist. That is important. Love your subject, and once you love that subject, I think all these challenges are there which you can solve. Then involvement will be possible. Then thinking big will be possible, right? So involvement of a teacher is also important. Becoming capable is also important in that case. That means going parallel with the industry is the job of a teacher in that case, to upgrade himself. And maybe sometimes I think the people say that why not even a BPharm course should be a sandwich program. That means 2 years you study at the college, 3rd year totally you go to the industry for 1 year. We have 26,000 pharmaceutical industries, And last time when I delivered my actually presidential address at 69th IPC, I said, why not we should have at least 2 to 3 industries attached to one pharmacy college. There are 3,000 pharmacy colleges, and they can attach to the pharmaceutical industries. And pharmaceutical industries problem, actually these 3 industries problem, the pharmacy college should solve, so that automatically the skills will be developed. Like hospital is attached to the MBBS, right? Or maybe BMS or BHMS. Why not industry should be attached? The permission should be given. Like in PharmD program, when Pharmacy Council of India started, as Dr. Sriram said, 300 bedded hospital is compulsory. There the practical exposure will be more. So why not even for the pharmacy colleges, then pharma industry tie-up association is important in that case, so that we can develop these skills on a continuous basis. I think this should be our approach in the future, which has gained through the online. We became more confident because of the online now. Anytime from anywhere, we can conduct the lecture. That is the advantage for the teacher. Although you can take the leave for 1 month, but if you record your lecture, you can keep it on the website and student can take it at any time. Everything is recorded. Today's program is also recorded. Our views are also recorded. So somebody will listen to that, and maybe some policies can be changed. As Bista is asking that any policy change are required. Yes, people are listening, and maybe today they may not change, but maybe after 3 years they will change. And some point from our actually discussion, they can put into the practice. So the way is long. Let's go together. The way is difficult. Let's help each other. Let's inspire each other, those who are doing the good work. And the day is, or maybe the way is open in front of us. Let's begin with a positive attitude. That is the message today, which our panel wanted to give. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you, panelists, for such a well-structured discussion. And as we wrap up the Elets Digital Pharma Summit, that saw 5 panel discussions with a number of key speakers and industry topics that had a huge audience witnessing the deliberations on the Elets 3D platform avatar. We are enriched, we are enlightened, and we are looking to assimilate all that we have learned over the last 2 days. I would like to inform the gathering that we are about to have an upcoming in-person event on 14th of December in Delhi, which is the 3rd Elets Diagnostic Leadership Summit. And I would be glad and I'd be honored if you could have, the presence of our eminent industry leaders here, our renowned academicians that we have here. If you could have your presence in this leadership summit that will be happening on the 14th of December in Delhi. Deepak, can we have the creative, please? Yeah. So this is going to be on the co-creation of a futuristic diagnostic sector, and the venue will be announced very shortly. And before we wrap up completely, we would like to extend to our esteemed panelists a small token from our end, from the Elets Digital Pharma team, these virtual certificates from our end to Dr. Praful Bharadia for your
so
insights and your presence, sir. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Dr. S. Sriram, for your insights and your knowledge sharing, sir. Thank you so much for your presence. We are grateful. Dr. Mahesh Dattaraya, sir, thank you so much for moderating and for efficiently taking this discussion forward. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
And Professor Krishnapriya Mohanraj, thank you so much, ma'am. It was a pleasure listening to you. Thank you so much for coming here.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir. We will wrap up this session now. Thank you, everyone, for being present here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
so
a lot.
much. Have a good day.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a great day.